In this video, I'm going to be talking about the use of weightlifting for track and field athletes. When I say weightlifting, I'm talking about the clean and jerk exercise and the snatch exercise. In other words, I'm talking about the lifts that are commonly referred to as the Olympic lifts. And these lifts can play a valuable role within the strength and conditioning programs of all track and field athletes. And one of the key reasons why the Olympic lifts can be so valuable for track and field athletes is power development. Now, all track and field athletes can benefit from improving their power levels, whether that be sprinters, middle distance runners, throwers, jumpers. That power development is important for all. Of course, in some events, the middle distance guys, power to body weight ratio will be the important factor. But nonetheless, power development is an important part of that equation. And the Olympic lifts are fantastic exercises for developing high levels of power. In fact, research has shown that when it comes to some of the best weightlifters in the world, the power outputs that have been recorded in those lifts by those weightlifters are higher than just about any other power outputs recorded in sport. So clearly these exercises, if they're performed with a high level of technical competence, are superbly adept at developing power outputs. Now the key factor there is when they are performed with a high level of technical competence. And most track and field athletes, most sports persons, unless they are competitive weightlifters, will not have that high level of technical competence. So what can we do to get the benefit from these exercises without that same level of technical competence that a competitive weightlifter would have? Well, we can still benefit from them by performing derivatives of the exercises. We can break the exercises down into smaller components, and we can work on specific factors or specific parts of the lifts that don't require as much technical competence. We can make it easier from a technical standpoint to perform the exercises, but still get some of those physiological and biomechanical adaptations and benefits that we're looking for from those exercises. So let's take a look at some of the derivatives that we can be performing. The first derivative that you might want to coach your athletes is the triple extension with shrug. Now this movement begins at about mid-thigh level because this signifies the end of the pulling phase of Olympic lifts and is where a lot of the power is generated from in the Olympic lifts. At the moment we're not trying to generate power, we're just learning the technique, so we're performing it under control. We're trying to achieve full triple extension of the hip, knee and the ankle joint and finish off with a shrug of the shoulders to maximize bar height as well, keeping the bar close to the body, keeping the elbows nice and straight. Once we've executed that well and learnt it well, we can move on to developing power and adding a jump into the movement, as you can see here. And once you can perform the jump with good technique, keeping the elbow straight, keeping the bar close to the body, still getting your full extension of the hip, knee and ankle joint, you can add load. There's no reason why you can't add an awful lot of weight to the bar in this particular derivative and focus on generating force by adding a lot of load in this movement. And once you've learnt the technique, you can play around with it a bit. You can see in the last couple of attempts there, I've started from a slightly lower position with the bar just above knee level. So once you've become accomplished, you can adapt with technique modifications. One of the other factors that lends the Olympic lifts so well to the strength and conditioning programs of track and field athletes is some of the biomechanical properties of the lifts and how they correspond to track and field activities. And at the forefront of our minds here should be the fact that when running, we're looking to produce forceful triple extension of the hip, knee and ankle joint in a coordinated manner. And if you look back at the derivative that we just took a look at, you can see that there is a coordinated triple extension of those joints. The hip, knee and ankle joint are undergoing full triple extension, and so there is a high level of dynamic correspondence there between the end of the pull phase of an Olympic lift and the push-off push-off phase of the running stride, where we're looking for forceful and coordinated hip, knee and ankle triple extension. But it goes beyond that, because in the running stride, what immediately follows that forceful triple extension is a rapid reversal of that. We're looking for forceful and coordinated hip, knee and ankle triple extension to be immediately followed by rapid triple flexion of those same three joints. And this is replicated so well in the Olympic lifts, because following the pull, the athlete tries to drop underneath the bar with speed, whether it be the clean or the snatch exercise. At the end of the pull, the athlete is trying to rapidly drop underneath the bar in order to catch it in an appropriate position for the relevant lift, and that requires a rapid triple flexion of the hip, knee and ankle joint to immediately follow that forceful triple extension. So it's so relevant. The crossover between the lifts and track and field activities are remarkable, and there are some derivative exercises that we can perform of the Olympic lifts that focus on dropping underneath the bar and achieving rapid triple flexion of the hip, knee and ankle joint. Let's go and take a look. So the first derivative that we're going to take a look at when it comes to coaching your athletes to drop underneath the bar quickly and therefore achieve a rapid triple flexion of the hip, knee and ankle joints is what we can see here. So this exercise being performed here is called the drop clean, and it is you start the exercise with the arms straight, hanging down in front of the body, so the bar is at the top of your thighs, and the movement is initiated by going up onto your tiptoes, and from there it helps to have a quick transition of the feet, so you can allow the feet to drift a little bit wider to help you to quickly drop underneath the bar. And as you're dropping underneath the bar, and not before, but as you drop underneath the bar, you allow the elbows to break so that you can lift the bar towards the shoulders. The key here is to not allow that bar movement to happen before you initiate the downward drop underneath the bar. Once you can execute the drop clean well, you can look to start putting the two derivatives together. So we can look to perform the explosive triple extension that we worked on previously, and from there go into dropping underneath the bar, and that becomes what we're looking at here. It becomes a clean from a hang position. So a hang clean or a clean from hang position is essentially a partial clean that you can see here. You're not performing the lift from the floor, you're performing it from maybe the mid-thigh position or from just above the knees, and from here the progressions that we perform in order to perform a more full version of the clean is simply to start from a lower position. So you can see we've got pads here, and we can place the bar on the pads, and that enables us to perform the clean from a specific height, and you can simply adjust that. You can use blocks, you can use pads, you can set the safety spotters in a power rack to a specific height, and you can gradually lower your starting height as you become more and more competent, ensuring that technique is good at all times.